There are memorable moments in all sports. Attacks, games, rivalries, the greatest comebacks form the history of every sport. Passed on by the generations of fans, the stories immortalize champions. Fausto Coppi's famous comeback from the 15-minute deficit in the 1949 Tour, Eddie Merckx's memorable attack on the Circle of Death 140 kilometers from the finish towards the famous slopes of the mighty Tour La Mer in a 1969 Tour. Greg LeMond famous duel with the Badger and a sadly missed Roland Fignon in what must be considered one of the greatest comebacks in all sports in the 1989 Tour, just 2 years after the infamous hunting attack. And just when we thought we've seen it all, the greatest miracle in sports, the return of Lance Armstrong and the winning of the 1999 Tour after his bout with testicular cancer, sadly erased by the doping admission decade later. The Tour's lucky number appears to be number 9. It signifies perhaps something special. The change of guard, the memorable experience, the birth of the new champion. As the first Pyrenean stage approaches, Julian Alaphilippe stands at the crossroads of history. The defining moment on a stage declared by favorites as not eventful, due to the time trial coming a day after. But the champions of the old were defined by attacking when rivals least expected. And what better place than penultimate stage before the competition which is tailor-made to the greatest rival's skill set? Whether the attack will happen or not, Julian Alaphilippe rides into the unknown, the meeting with destiny. Will he end the curse of the Frenchman, the 35-year-old drought, stepping into the history books? Or will he join the long list of another latest and greatest French hopes to fall short of the dream, the elusive yellow, into Paris? Let the road decide. The mountain road always decides. Welcome to the 2019 Stage 12 preview. Going into the Pyrenees. All right, guys. How you guys doing? Today, after the last flat stage, right? We won't see a flat stage for a while now, which is actually pretty good. By the way, congratulations again to Caleb Ewan. Amazing performance. Finally getting his elusive Tour de France stage wins. We're heading into the Pyrenees. Okay. Stage is 209 kilometers long. Okay. We're heading kind of in almost like a half circle. Right, we're heading first south into the Pyrenees, the border of France and Spain, and then we're kind of getting out of them, right, past the 2 Category 1 mountains, okay? The first thing to know about the stage is that unlike the other stages of the tour, it's actually going to be cool, all right? So, we were getting into the heat. Today it was 90 degrees out in the south of France in Toulouse, but it is going to be unusually cool tomorrow. Initially, they were expecting some passing rain, which would make the descents just treacherous. Remember, there's a 30-kilometer descent to the finish. Okay, but now they're projecting mix of clouds and sun. They're projecting no rain, but they're projecting cool temperatures. And what I mean cool is 64 degrees by the finish, high 50s up in the mountains. So the big questions is, what is that going to do to the main favorites, right? Everybody's going to be probably carrying some sorts of a windbreaker, warmer clothing, right? And the main thing is going to be the descents. The descents, the temperature, the mountains are 1,600 meters, so probably between 5 and 8 degrees colder, getting into the 50s, okay? And it's highly unusual after 10, 11 days in a heat, so in a French heat. So it's going to be interesting. The main goal for the favorites tomorrow is to survive without getting sick. Right, this is the most important thing. So the old trick with the newspapers on top of the coals, right, is still probably going to work. They don't do it as much as they used to, but it's very effective, as you know. Again, 209 kilometers. First 130 kilometers flat and super fast. Okay, so I'm expecting the break to go a little bit later than usual. Okay, the first hill, the famous col de Peyresourde, comes in 76 kilometers from the finish, right? So you probably have about 2.5 hours of riding before you're going to get there. There's a sprint finish right before the climb starts. And who's going to make it into an early break? Well, the first thing is I'm expecting the polka dot jersey to be in full swing, the whole fight for the polka dot jersey. I'm looking at Wellens to be up there again, De Ghent, and this is an interesting rivalry between those two guys on the same team. I'm expecting Ciccioni, he's pretty close with points. I'm expecting Sandro Maurice to be up there. I'm expecting Rui Costa, Gadu, Herada for Confidis to be up there, all great climbers. Zakharin, definitely it's his stage. And my three favorites for the stage out of the early break would be Vincenzo Nibali, right? He's lost a lot of time already, so he's out of the contention for the GC, but he's targeting the stages. This is the stage for him. 2 climbs, 30 kilometers of descents, finishing the stage. So this is probably the stage for Vincenzo Nibali if he is in any sort of a form. Another interesting rider that we must look on is Alejandro Valverde for tomorrow, right? It's going to be interesting whether Movistar will put riders early into a break to set up Landa. Okay, so if when we see Movistar putting a couple of guys into the break, that means that Landa is going on the next climb. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm suspecting Valverde might have a go in an early break. Another interesting rider that I'm expecting to go would be Warren Barguil. Okay, Warren Barguil might be another guy that might have a go. Champion of France. He is, targeting the overall, but he's kind of behind a little bit, so he might actually switch his goal and try to go for a polka dot or try to go for a far off attack. The climb of the Peyresourde is 13.2 kilometers long. It averages at 7%. It is pretty regular at first and then becomes irregular with the gradient, right? There's like the middle section is like steep 500 yards, and there's like then it goes down to 3%, then again 7-8% for 500 yards, then it again goes to 4%, so very irregular at 7%. The beginning of it is kind of flat. The middle section is steeper, right? Especially between kilometer 6 and kilometer 9, it oscillates between 8 and 9%. Then it gets flat. Then towards the top, it actually it gets steeper again, around 7.5%. Now, very technical descent, shorter but steeper, follows from the Peyresourde, getting into the valley, and then we start the last category, the second category one, the last climb of the day. The climb has the bonus on top, right, which is going to be important, the 8-second bonus. Whoever gets that gets 8 seconds in a GC classification. In the bottom of the climb, Horquet d'Ancien, right? I know I'm butchering it in French. I apologize, but Horquet d'Ancien, maybe, right? Sounds like Chinese to me. But the beginning of the climb is 10 kilometers long, 9.9 to be exact. It's a little bit steeper, 7.5%, but the average gradient does not really tell the story of the climb, because the first 4 kilometers are much steeper. And I looked at Strava, and the Strava suggests that actually the ascent is the climb, the col is actually a little bit steeper. So first 4 kilometers average 9.5%, with sections of 11 and 12%. It is a perfect springboard for somebody to attack from the GC favorite group, even if the break is about 3-4 minutes up the road. And this is why I'm thinking that this is perfect for Landa, and this is perfect for Movistar, because if they'll have guys up front, like they proved before, right? They may wait if Landa attacks to work and get him over the top, and then work with him on those 30-kilometer descents. So watch out for Landa in the first 4 kilometers of the last climb. I don't think, but Pinot also might have a go. I mean, what else he has to lose, right? I mean, especially Landa. Look at Landa's situation. I'm not sure if I'm really buying this whole I'm down, right? I always crash things that he showing us in interviews on a rest day. He could be down, but it could be a setup tactic by the movie star, right? You never know. He's 21st overall. He's 3 minutes behind Bernal and Geraint Thomas, so he's got nothing to lose, right? Literally nothing to lose. But attack from further away, and this is a perfect stage because they're not expecting it. Everybody is expecting to be no action a day before the important time trial. Okay, so this is his chance. Pinot, we'll see, but really, we'll just have to see. The climb after 4 kilometers initially flattens out to 5.5% in the middle, and then it gets steeper for the next 4.5 kilometers. It goes around between 7 and 8% to the top. On the top, we have again the climb bonus, 8, 5, and 2 seconds, and then 30 kilometers all the way down to the finish in Peyresourde de Peyresourde. Peyresourde de Peyresourde. I know I'm butchering it again, and I'm so sorry. So 30-kilometer descent to the bottom, to the town. The first part of the descent, of the first 10 kilometers, there's actually a little rise there at about 5 kilometers, 25 kilometers to go, 5 kilometers into a descent, about 500-600 yards of steep gradient up, and then we plunge down again. First part, 10 kilometers of that descent is actually pretty steep. It's not super technical, but it is steep, so the speeds are going to be high. I'm thinking Vincenzo Nibali here might have a go at the, over the top, and then get his advantage in the descents. That's what we know him for. We'll see if Alejandro Valverde or any other movie star guy is there to set up Landa for the attack. the question always remain how the stage will go, right? Whether it'll be the stage controlled by Ineos already, right? And it'll be relatively quiet before, and everybody's gonna like pick their chances for the time trial and after the time trial, which I think is a bad idea since Geraint Thomas already has an advantage in a GC, and he's also probably the best out of the main favorites left in contention in a time trial. So I think it's a bad idea to wait for a time trial. You have to attack right away tomorrow. And the question is, what will Alaphilippe do? Okay, is Alaphilippe a champion? Is he finally going to believe in his star? Right? The whole France is behind him. We know that, right? I mean, it's been a while since the Frenchman really led after 12 stages, right? Regardless whether it was a hard terrain or there was really no huge mountains still. So, I think he really gets all the support, and, we'll just have to see. Like I said in my editorial, the mountain road always decides, but he also has to be prepared. He has to fight, okay? And I think this could be a perfect stage for him, perfect springboard. So we'll just have to see if Alaphilippe and De Koenig is really up for it tomorrow, okay? Anybody else? I mean, who knows, right? I'm expecting 3-4 guys to kind of go over the top. Vincenzo Nibali, Warren Barguil, maybe Rui Costa, okay? And then I'm expecting Vincenzo Nibali to right away from his compatriots on a descent, right? Perfect for him, and survive to the finish. So my 5-star pick is Vincenzo Nibali, right? My other 5-star pick, if he's there, is Alejandro Valverde, if he doesn't have to wait for Landa. My 4-star picks are Zakharin, right? I think Zakharin's been riding a little bit better. He started kind of out of shape, but I think he's getting into shape very quickly, like usually he does, right? In a Giro and in a Tour. So watch for him to target this stage. I think maybe Thomas de Ghent, maybe Landa if if the break is controlled and the gap is not too big, right? To win the stage from the bottom of the last climb. Warren Barguil could be a 3-star, right? These are, by the way, my 3 stars now. Herrada, Wellens, Gaudu, Ciccioni, and Xandro Matisse. Those would be my guys to watch for tomorrow. My pick for tomorrow, though, is Vincenzo Nibali. Now, I would love to see some actions from the GC favorite, right? The champions and the road really define this race. I would love it, just like in my editorial, for this number 9 to be another special tours. So let's hope that one of them will take a chance tomorrow. Hopefully it will be Alaphilippe, and hopefully we can, if Alaphilippe goes tomorrow, and if he gets a gap, then it gets really super exciting all the way to the end. And if there is a Frenchman somewhere in this world, he's probably cheering for Alaphilippe. Okay. If you like the video, hit like. If you like the channel, subscribe. I'm wondering how you guys doing with your training. I'm wondering what your picks are for tomorrow's stage. What are your thoughts on this year's Tour de France? What are your prediction, for the Pyrenees, for the time trial, for the Alps, and for the overall? I'm just really curious who's going to win the polka dot. We all know who wins the green, but who's going to get the GC? Give me your thoughts, comment, and like, and I'll see you for tomorrow, right, for another prediction of the tour stage. All right, see you.